G'day, how are you? Welcome to the second week. And this is Culinary 110, and it's the back of the house of Eggers. Hopefully you all had a great weekend. Looking to hunker down and looking outside here. It's getting a little darker. Supposed to be thunderstorms and tornado warnings again on a Sunday night, just like last week. That was no fun. But again, hopefully everything's good. How did you do on your assignments? How did you do on the forum? All right, it needs to be done on time, okay? Your assignments and the forum is how I grade you, and it's also how I do your attendance. So please, please, please get in there and knock them out as soon as you can, all right? Very important. I'll have more assignments this week and another forum for you this week. Remember, we have to work on the projects, get your projects going, so that's real important. So this week we're getting into the cooking methods and stations, and that's what we'll be working on this week. The cooking methods. Then we're going to get into a la minute cooking. A la minute cooking is what we do at Eggers and pretty much what everybody's doing in a restaurant. Banquets will be a different way of cooking, right? You can cook it, blanch it, hold it, and finish it when you're doing bulk cooking for banquets and buffets. But then we're going to talk about a la minute cooking as well as 7 cooking methods I'm going to talk about right now. So 7 cooking methods. You got steam, you have blanching, you have searing or saute, you have braising, poaching, roasting, and grill. All right, so on a basic hotline in a kitchen, you'd have a saute station, you'd have a fry station, you'd have a grill station, and a garde manger station or a pantry that will do salads, appetizers, cold appetizers coming out of there, and they'll do the desserts. So, but in those stations, you're going to be doing different techniques, all right, different cooking methods. Steam being the first one. Steaming a vegetable, bringing it to a boil in a pot or saucepan. Put the steamer basket in there. Steaming it depends on what type of vegetable or potato or fish or chicken that you're doing. It depends on how long you're going to cook it. All right, so steaming is great to keep the texture, shape, and color. Also, it's more nutritious. You're not cooking any of the nutrients out. So steaming. Blanching is another way. When are you going to blanch? What are you going to blanch? Why are you going to blanch it? Maybe you're blanching potatoes a little bit early so you don't have to cook them as long. A la minute cooking, right? A la minute cooking is all about having everything prepped and ready to go. We'll get into that next, but that's what's important about this that'll help you blanch. If you're blanching something off, say broccoli or asparagus or cauliflower, green beans, you blanch them, you shock them, right, in an ice bath, right? Stops the cooking process, pull them out, okay? And then what you do is then you finish them off when you're doing the a la minute cooking. Searing and sauteing, that's another, it's a big one. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love being on the grill and I love being on the saute when I'm working the line. It's my strong suits. But you got to make sure when you're searing and sauteing, your saute pan needs to be hot. All right, it doesn't work on a cold one. So I have some videos for you that'll be going over with you, or you going over with, and it'll show you all these techniques, these cooking methods. And every single one of them says make sure your pan's hot. You do a water test, sprinkle some water in there real quick, and it evaporates out. That means your pan's hot. Then you can put your oil down. When you're sauteing, don't use extra virgin olive oil. It's not very conducive. You need a high temperature oil. So like a canola or a grapeseed oil works a lot better. All right. If you're slow cooking and doing that, olive oil is good, but it's not a very good one. It kind of burns a little bit when you're doing on saute. So be careful with that. Braising, love braising. Braising, why? Because I love short ribs. I love lamb shanks. I love pot roast. I mean, oh my goodness, what a good pot roast it would be today with a nice rainy day on a Sunday, right, that I'm doing this video. The braising means is you're actually browning the outside, you're searing it, right, really, really good, you know, and then you're getting that color on there, and you're mixing it with some seared vegetables. Then you're gonna put some red wine or wine and stock, because you can do a light or a white blanch or a light white braise, and you can do a dark braise, depending on what you're using and how you want it done. For me, we'll get in this a little bit later down the road. I do the braise, but I also do sous vide. You know, I do a sous vide where we pull that product out, we put it in the bag, we seal it with the cryovac machine, and then we put it in water with a sous vide machine that's going about 140, 150, maybe 170 degrees, and let that cook for hours, and then we turn it down and pull it out. All right, and shock it. So sous vide is a whole different way. Kind of like what next one is called poaching, right? So poaching is the next style of cooking. Poaching is really neat. I love poaching either fish, salmon, some hardy ones, halibut, grouper. I do a butter poach. It's usually white wine and butter, lots of butter, and you poach it in that. There's always a bunch of Georgia. I do a Georgia olive oil poach also, so I use Georgia olive oil. I'll heat that up, and then I put the fish in there and let it do the poaching. No water whatsoever, it's just oil. And it gives that flavor of the olive oil in there. Oh, it's really good. And how about poached eggs, right? I have a thing on egg cookery. You guys, I've got some egg cookery going for you. Jacques Pepin. Jacques Pepin will be doing 2 videos for you this week. One's going to be about omelets, 2 different styles of omelets he does, and the other one's about poached eggs, which is really, really neat. I actually cooked with him. I cooked with, way back when in 1982, in 1982, I did for the Cancer Society. I was in the Navy at the time, but I was moonlighting. I was working at the Sheraton Harbor Island in San Diego, and I was able to do, the executive chef came up to me and says, "Peter, you want to work this weekend?" And I said, "I thought we were closed." And he goes, no, we have a special event. The American Cancer Society is coming in. They have some celebrity chefs that will be doing all the work, but we need somebody to help them, you know, pots and pans, get them around. I said, absolutely, I will. Well, it turned out to be Jacques Pepin, Julia Childs, James Beard, and Danny Kaye. Danny Kaye was an actor that everybody knew, but he was also a world-renowned Asian chef. So for the weekend, I got to cook with those guys. Well, I didn't actually cook with them. I cleaned up around them, but it was pretty neat. It was nice. But Jacques Pepin, a big fan of him, and his 2 videos that I have for you this week are about egg cookery. All right, so it's going to be about omelets, 2 styles of omelets, and poaching eggs, which we use for a buffet. So from poaching, we go into roasting, and I have Thomas Keller, a video from Thomas Keller, looking at his roast chicken. And, you know, we're roast a lot. You will be cooking a lot of chicken in your career, all right? So roasting the chicken, turkeys, duck, you know, nice roast beef, prime rib, rib loin, you know, all that. So that's all into roasting, high heat, dry heat. It's really, really, really great way of doing things, right? Classical way. And then the grill. Working the grill, you do your burgers or cook steaks out at your house over the weekend maybe, cooking chicken, ribs, but remember you have that one grill top. Remember that one grill top I showed you on the Eggers video? So that one grill top on the Eggers char grill, and you have burgers you have to put on there. You have fish you have to put on there. There's steaks you have to put on there. There's chicken you have to put on there. So there's different areas of that grill that you might have to use, because there's a lot of cross-contamination involved in there. So you got to be careful on how you work that grill. There's a great video that I'm going to show you about grilling and how he does his grill, a master chef, and it's a wood-burning, beautiful, beautiful oven. But those wood-burning ovens give off some serious heat. So, you know, grilling is what I like to do, right? Getting those grill marks on there correctly, And you're rocking and rolling that grill. You got your steaks all lined up. You got those grill marks. You go from 11 o'clock, you put it down 11 o'clock position, and then you move it to the 1 o'clock position. Then you flip it, 11 o'clock position to the 1 o'clock position, and then you get those grill marks, right? You get those grill marks on the steaks or on the chicken. You'll be forever doing that. Now that you are a cook, you're graduating from culinary school, expectations are you know how to put the diamonds, the grill marks on your proteins that are there. You know, swordfish, tuna, you know, they're really good for that. So you got to make sure about that. So that's your styles of cooking. Now we're going to go into a la minute cooking. We're going to talk about that. Right here. So a la minute, it's the standard for every pretty much restaurant that's out there. And the big thing about a la minute cooking is you have to have your mise en place ready to go. Your mise has to be ready for your station. Because a la minute cooking, if you don't have your mise en place ready to go, you're really gonna miss out when you get that rush and then you run out of product, and that's gonna slow the whole thing down. You know, so you have to make sure you have your mise en place. You have to have all your proteins ready to go. You have to have all your garnish ready to go. You have to have all your herbs chopped. You have to have your garlic chopped. You have to have all your mushrooms sliced, and whatever you're using, you know, have all your cream ready to go, all your sauces ready to go. You know, it's huge. Are your plates there? Do you have enough plates? Do you have enough sizzle platters that you're going to put meats into the oven with? You know, do you have enough towels so you don't burn your hands? So it's very important that a la minute cooking is all about mise en place, getting it together. All right, so a la minute refers to the style of cooking where an item or particularly accompanying sauce is all prepared to order. So you're going to cook your chicken in a saute pan, right? You cook off your chicken, pull the chicken out, let it rest. You're going to deglaze the saute pan with a little bit of wine, a little bit of stock. Hit it, let it reduce down, throw some cream in there, maybe throw a little of a demi or something, whatever your sauce is going to be with. Let that go, reduce down, finish it with butter. Get your plate ready to go. Have your vegetables already on the plate, have your starch already on the plate. You put your protein down, then you get that sauce that you just did, and you spoon that sauce right on top of it, garnish, boom. That quick. That's a la minute. That's how quick it is. All right, so the advantage of this is wonderful because boom, 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 boom. And as I'm talking to the front of the house people about is with the front of the house, they're in a timeline, right? So the guest is coming in, the guest expecting to have their food in a timely manner. So the servers are putting in each course, right? Course 1, course 2, course 3, or appetizers, entrees, you know, salads, whatever they got going on. So they'll have that going, and they're hitting the send button on the POS, and then it comes out of the printer, and then the expediter is going to call out, or maybe you have the printer in front of you, and you're going to have all your checks ready to go. And then for an appetizer, maybe 7 minutes max. It needs to come out within 7 minutes and out. Same with the dessert, 7 minutes. A salad, 7 minutes max. Then for your entrees, for an entree, it'll probably take a little bit longer, right? So the tricky part is though, you might have a fish dish, you know, a flounder, a sauteed flounder with Meunier butter, and it's quick. It's not even gonna take a minute to cook all, maybe 2 minutes to cook all that off. But then you have a well done steak that's going with it. So you have to communicate with the grill. And if you're on saute, you got to make sure the grill guy said, let me know when that well done steak's almost done, and then I can fire the fish, right? But then whoever's doing the vegetables has to make sure all the vegetables are ready for both of you, right? So that's the big thing. I mean, you have to communicate back and forth. There's one video I'm showing you, a la minute cooking. You don't even hear the cooks cook. You don't even. The two guys cooking on the line, and they're just knocking it out. Boom, 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 boom. You don't hear anything. Just those guys cooking. There's no jokes. There's no playing around. It's just straight up. And you're gonna see this in a lot of these videos. It's yes chef, no chef. boom, boom. There's no fun. I mean, it is fun working in that scenario, but there's no, well, we call it grab assing, right? You know, so you got to really be on top of that. You know, yeah, my two dogs are wanting to come into the office. But it's real important that you have your mise en place together, all right? All right, you have to have that ready to go. So, a la minute cooking is one way, and then comparing that with quantity or production cooking is a whole different thing. Think about the chicken breast. You're doing chicken breast with a cream sauce, a nice cream sauce on top of it, and you have a la minute, boom, 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 you can bang it out right there. But if you have 110 guests that everything needs to come out, then you have to work on that. So you have to cook off 110 chicken. So how are you gonna do that? Make sure it all comes out. How would you do that? What do you think? Well, hopefully you'll get the chicken prior to service. You'll grill mark them, all right? You'll season them, then you'll get them on the grill and you'll mark them, right? So you get that diamond on there, and you're only cooking them halfway. Prior to just doing the top, there's certain, the presentation side, right? Presentation side goes down first in your saute pan. Presentation side goes first on the grill, right? So you have that done, and then you put them on sheet pans, you chill them, and then right before service, then you can pop them in the oven and finish them. All right, so that's the big production, you know, big, like you did in banquets class, right? If you did any of the banquets that were at Snelling, then you would know, you know, how much that production is, making all that rice, you know, and keeping the rice warm, and making sure all the vegetables are cooked pretty much as close as possible, because you don't want to overcook the vegetables. I mean, that's a big thing. It happens to me all the time. I tend to cook mine a little bit too quick, and Mrs. Chef Eisenberg she really gets angry with me when I do that. But so it's really important that you know these techniques, and we're showing you these videos, and hopefully with what you remember, all right, about when you took your cooking classes prior, that how to saute, how to grill, all right, how to fry. Yeah? All right. So, I've done that. Let's see. We'll talk about styles of menus. All right, so another thing we need to talk about is the different styles of menus that are out there, right? So we have the a la carte menu. We have an a la carte menu at Edgar's, at the Pinnacle Club. We have a la carte, and it's pretty much what everybody does here in the United States, is a nice, simple a la carte menu. You open up the menu, everything's right there, salads, appetizers, or sandwich station, or what's your pizzas, or all that. Then you have a daily menu, a du jour, right? Du jour, the day, all right? Today, of the day, all right? And that'll tell you what we're doing on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It could be that, or it could be a cycle menu, right? So du jour menus, when I was in Europe, a lot of the smaller cafes, it's just on a chalkboard. You know, they'll have their fan favorites, they'll have their specials, the specialty of the house, they'll have that as an anchor on that menu, on the du jour menu. But other than that, it's whatever's coming off, you know, from the farm, or coming off from the market, or coming out of the sea, that's what they're gonna be using, right? And then they'll just write that down on the chalkboard, chalkboard's up on the wall, server goes, and this is what we have for today, boom, and you order off of that. Then you have a cycle menu. Cycle menu I used a lot when I was in the military. In the military, we used cycle menus. When I was out on the oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico, we used cycle menus. That way you can prepare and order ahead of time all this what we're gonna have. So we're gonna have a nice cycle menu, and maybe it'll be a 6-week cycle menu. So every week it'll be different, you know, for 6 weeks, and then they'll come back and wrap around again and go through. All right, so we did that, and I'm trying to come up with some of that for the Pinnacle Club and do a cycle menu. So we have that. It's a lot easier to order from, but with different ones, different special. We'll have specials of the day. Then you have a prefix. You know what a prefix menu is? All right, prefix is like a 3-course menu or a 4-course menu, and it's going to cost $75 a person, or $150 a person, or like the video we saw the other day with Thomas Keller and Per Se, right? He's got a tasting menu, $300 for lunch. $300 for lunch is a prefix menu, all right? But it's done. It's one price, all done. You know, and then you just do your selections off the menu. It could be, you know, three items per section, 3 appetizers, 3 entrees, 3 desserts, and you get a choice of one of those. All right, 3 or 3-course. Table d'hôte, another French culinary term, the host's table, right? I make the decision, so it's more like a family style. So we're gonna give you a starter, and we're gonna bring it out with the main courses. We're gonna bring everything out on a platter, present it, serve it family style. It's pretty neat. Kind of like brunches sometimes, or tapas. There's another one. Tapas menus or table d'hôte, all right, or tapas. Have you heard about tapas? It's a Spanish style, smaller plates, all right, couple bites of each one. They're not big portions, and then they have these small plates, but you order a whole bunch of them for the table, and everybody shares them, okay? That's a good way of doing it. Then you have your beverage menus. Your cocktails has your specialty cocktails on there, has your wine list, maybe your beer list, all the craft beers. We have great craft beers here in Augusta, and you know, we have awesome wines that are around. So you have that. You have your dessert menu, of course. It's usually separate. Sometimes they actually have their drink menus, and dessert will be on the back of it. So it's all in one. After dinner drinks will be on there for your dessert menu too. I've done that in a few of my restaurants where I have my dessert menu, but then right below it I have cordials, right? The Grand Marniers, Cavassier, the Remy Martin, some, what do you call that? Ouzo, aperitifs that are there that they can have, you know, some frangelica, something that'll go with your dessert. Your specialty coffees can be on there along with your desserts. And not everybody's gonna drink, so you might want to have some specialty teas, some great teas that you have, Earl Greys or whatever specialty tea that you want, and you'll have your desserts, of course, your beverages, and on a dessert menu. The wine book, if you know, the wine list is very important for each restaurant. I like mine being separate, but at Edgar's they have it on the back, right? So you have the regular menu up front, and on the back you have your wines and drinks that are there in your beer list, which is nice. I just like to have another presentation of giving to the guest the separate menu for the wines, and hopefully you'll get into wines. You did a wine class yet? I don't know if you did a beverage class yet, but that's a lot of fun. I'm certified sommelier, so I know a little bit about wine. I'd love to be a cicerone. A cicerone is about beer. Like a sommelier is for wine, a cicerone is for beer. So if you're interested, look online, a cicerone, and again, sommelier. And that might be really cool, because you need to know, as a chef, you need to know how to pair your food and your beverages together. It's going to be expected from you, all right? I'm just telling you right now, they're going to say, what can you pair this with? And if you don't like to drink, which is fine, but as I said before, you need to have a top 3. You need to have, you know, your top 3 of appetizers, top 3 entrees, top 3 desserts, top 3 sauces, top 3 vegetables, starches. You need a top 3. And then in the front of the house, when we get into that, which these menus are going into too, the styles of menus, but you need to know those styles of menus in the back of the house also. All right, so it's really important that you have your top 3. Okay, top 3 is a big thing. We'll talk about that later on down the road too. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover. We got some great, awesome videos for you. I mean, that'll keep you busy, and they have, let's see, let's go with these. As I told you before, you got a Master Chef video in there, braising, meat like a pro. Michelle Roux is going to poach some salmon with you with a really cool sauce. You should see this bourdon sauce. This is really neat. Thomas Keller is going to roast a chicken. Jacques Pepin is going to be there. Then we're going to have 2 videos. One's in the beginning, what it takes to make it to a Michelin star restaurant. One guy in LA and another lady going to a 3-star restaurant in New York City. And that'll be really neat how you guys see how that works. And then the last one is aluminum line cooking. We're just rocking and rolling, man. You're going to like that too. Okay? So we'll see you next time. Be safe.